Hello! Doing a review from the Chicago area in a new spot. Not sure how the lighting and framing is and everything, but we got some natural light here, so it might be good. And I'm doing a rather exciting review of Alarmist's New England style IPA. So this won the gold medal, the first ever gold medal for hazy or juicy IPA at the Great American Beer Festival. They just created that category this year, and this beat out 300 and what something other IPAs. And I've never had it. Didn't really even know Alarmist, the brewery, existed, because the Chicagoland area has now more breweries than any other like metropolitan area. And so this one has the holy duo of Citra and Mosaic hops in it. I assume they use something like wheat or oats or dextrose or dextrine malts in this, in addition to mostly pale malts. And there's a little bit of lactose in it. They don't advertise it as that, or like a milkshake IPA. Doesn't say it on here, but they do say that on their website. So let's just jump in and try it. Actually, when it first won the medal, I looked this beer up on Beer Advocate, and it had like a 4.08 rating or something like that. And then as people went and drank more and more of it after it won the gold medal, the rating actually went up. So that could be a hype thing, but it could also be that people who are looking to drink this kind of style were actually there seeking it out and enjoying it more than the people who just came upon it before. And it looks like a really good hazy IPA. It is from November 30th, so it's a little under 4 weeks old. Still pretty fresh, but I've seen some hazy IPAs start to brown and gray from oxidation if they're canned improperly at this age. But that is looking nice and pale. Pretty good looking head. Good mixture of big and little bubbles. I'm going to share this with my brothers, because one of them got this for me for Christmas. I just got it hours ago. But I feel like I had to do a review as soon as possible. Whew. And that smells like all sorts of candy. Yeah, it's like pineapple, cotton candy, bubble gum, juicy fruit. Yeah, really, really big on the candy notes and some stone fruit esters. Smells like peach rings. Smells like it's going to be really sweet. The lactose, if I can't really exactly smell it, it seems like it's somehow pushing everything into being even more of a sweet candy-like aroma. I'm not getting much of any dankness or anything. It smells like an orange Julius. It doesn't actually smell like juice exactly. It doesn't seem like it's going to have a tartness to it. I'm worried that it's going to be too yeasty, kind of more like a Belgian IPA. That's kind of what I get from a lot of these Hop Butcher beers, but I got some more Hop Butcher beers I'm going to review soon. Yeah, hopefully it's not super duper sweet, because that's just not to my taste. But it seems like Chicagoans kind of like that if they like Alarmist and they like Hop Butcher. Microphone's beers aren't always super sweet. Hopefully I'll be able to get some of theirs and review them while I'm here for the holidays. Not a super thick mouthfeel. Does have a little bit of a drying, chalky texture. Yeah, it's actually pretty similar to Hop Butcher. Theirs are a little bit bigger on the phenols, but it does have similar texture, similar super candy forward thing happening. I think it's 6.5%. Doesn't say on here, but they do advertise it as a New England style IPA. And yeah, the lactose is noticeable in the flavor. It's not as sweet and wacky as some milkshake IPAs I've had. And it's finishing with almost, it reminds me of that sugary dust on a strip of bubble gum almost. It reminds me of like bubble tape. Big League Chew almost. But it doesn't quite get to that classic pink bubble gum flavor you get from Belgian yeast as much. Yeah, it's a good mouthfeel, but it's not really, really thick. I can still roll it around on my tongue and feel it, but it's not floating super soft effortlessly on my tongue like Treehouse beers and some other really good New England IPAs. Maybe I can sort of see how this won, but it's a little chalky and sweet for my palate. Though it does have a little bit of a a hop bite. There is some kind of resinous, woodsy thing that does seep in. That does kind of balance it out, but it's pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when I had this right next to, or no, when I had Hop Butcher right next to a Trillium beer that had a really different finish. The Trillium 4-point Pale Ale was much more juicy and dank and doesn't have this kind of chalky finish that this does, which I think is in part coming from how they're fermenting with the yeast, but also lactose and tends to create that. It's weird. It creates sweetness, but then it creates a kind of drying chalkiness because it is just like a powder they throw in there. But I'm actually noticing some hop IBUs now lingering. So it's an interesting beer that's big on sweetness, but kind of big on actual IBU measurable hop bitterness, unlike some New England IPAs that I like a little bit more. But I can see how plenty of people would enjoy this sort of thing. Yeah, and it stays pretty sweet. It gets a little bit spicy and a little bit earthy and woodsy, but those sweet flavors that I had in the beginning are still lingering quite a bit. Juicy fruit, bubble gum, all these sorts of things that I get in Belgian IPAs, but it's not quite as Belgian-y, I would say, as Hop Butcher. It's definitely a good beer. If you see it, I'd recommend it, especially if you like milkshake IPAs and stuff. This could easily be classified as that because somehow it has like vanilla-like flavors, even though they don't use vanilla in it, or any like fruits or anything. But it's pretty good. I guess I would give it a 4, maybe a little higher. It just doesn't suit my taste very much, but I don't know. The things I don't like about it aren't necessarily flaws. It's what other people might like, but it mostly has to do with the sweetness and like the feel, which isn't totally my favorite thing. But it is not a bad beer at all, and I was really happy to get to try it. That's it. Bye.